Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders may not have made headlines this offseason with high-profile free agent acquisitions, but one move has quietly begun to reshape the narrative surrounding their front seven. When General Manager Adam Peters handed a lucrative 3-year, $45 million contract to defensive lineman Javon Kinlaw, $30 million of that guaranteed, it was met with raised eyebrows across the NFL landscape. Analysts labeled it an overpay, and fans questioned the logic of investing heavily in a player with an inconsistent resume and a troubling injury history. But for Peters, the move wasn't about what Kinlaw had been, it was about what he still could become. Peters, known for shrewd trades and conservative free agency spending, clearly saw something in Kinlaw that others didn't, and now, just a few practices into training camp, the decision is starting to look a whole lot smarter. Kinlaw arrived in Ashburn not just ready to compete, he arrived transformed, both physically and mentally, resembling a player reborn. Javon Kinlaw is hard to miss on the practice field, not just because of his 6'5" frame and intimidating presence, but because he's moving like a man on a mission. Gone is the bulkier, sometimes sluggish version of Kinlaw that San Francisco 49ers fans grew used to. In his place stands a chiseled, focused athlete who seems intent on silencing critics, one rep at a time. His listed weight might still say 319 pounds, but you wouldn't know it by watching him explode off the snap during individual drills. Coaches and teammates alike have taken notice. There's a crispness to his movement, a relentless energy that has become contagious among Washington's defensive linemen. This isn't just about looking good in shorts and helmets. Kinlaw's technique appears sharper, his hands quicker, and his motor fully engaged. For a Commanders team searching for a new defensive identity, this version of Kinlaw might be exactly what they've needed. Adam Peters didn't just stumble into this. There was intent behind the decision to cut ties with longtime Pro Bowl lineman Jonathan Allen, a pillar of Washington's defense for years. No team stepped up with a trade offer, and rather than force an awkward situation, Peters pulled the plug and moved forward with conviction. That conviction manifested in the form of Kinlaw, a player with sky-high potential but an underwhelming career to this point. Some front offices would have shied away from such a move, but Peters leaned into it. He saw a buy low opportunity, betting that a change of scenery, paired with the right coaching and scheme fit, could unlock the player many expected Kinlaw to become when he was taken 14th overall in 2020. It's early, yes. Training camp is still in its opening phases, but the signs are encouraging. Kinlaw didn't just show up ready, he showed up transformed, and that's something you can't fake in this league. Kinlaw's transformation isn't just about how he looks. It's about how he's carrying himself. There's a seriousness in his approach that speaks volumes. He's not cracking jokes between reps or treating this like any other camp. This is personal for him. He knows what people have said. He's heard the whispers, read the comments, and felt the sting of being labeled a bust. And now, with fresh motivation and a GM who believes in him, Kinlaw is using every moment to prove that this is his time. Coaches have praised his focus. Teammates have talked about his leadership and willingness to mentor younger players. Even off the field, there's a sense that Kinlaw understands the stakes. He's not just playing for a paycheck, he's playing to rewrite his story. That mindset, combined with the physical transformation, has created a buzz in Ashburn that even the most skeptical observers are starting to acknowledge. Of course, none of this guarantees success. The NFL is a brutal league, and potential means nothing without production. But Kinlaw's situation feels different than a typical reclamation project. This isn't a desperate gamble on a player past his prime. Kinlaw is still just 26 years old, and he's shown flashes of dominance before, just not consistently. Injuries have been a major hurdle, but his clean bill of health heading into camp is a welcome sign, and perhaps more importantly, the Commanders have a plan. Defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. has already hinted at using Kinlaw in multiple roles, including edge snaps and interior pressure packages. That kind of versatility could be a nightmare for opposing offensive lines. Peters didn't just sign Kinlaw to fill a hole, he signed him to create mismatches. And if the early camp sessions are any indication, Witt plans to unleash Kinlaw in ways we haven't seen before. There's also a bigger picture here. The Commanders are undergoing a cultural overhaul, from the front office to the locker room. Peters is trying to build something sustainable, something tough, smart, and aggressive. Bringing in a player like Kinlaw with his chip-on-the-shoulder attitude and undeniable physical gifts, fits that blueprint perfectly. Washington doesn't just want players who can execute. They want players who set a tone. Kinlaw has that potential. He plays angry. He practices like he's fighting for his career, and that edge is infectious. Young linemen are watching him. Coaches are pushing him. Fans are starting to believe in him. If he continues on this trajectory, Kinlaw could become one of the emotional leaders of this defense, not just a contributor, but a force. That's what Peters envisioned, and so far, everything is pointing in the right direction. Let's not forget the stakes. The NFC East is a brutal division. If the Commanders are going to climb out of the cellar and start competing with the likes of the Eagles and Cowboys, they need players who can flip the script, difference makers who can wreck a game. Plan. Kinlaw, when healthy and engaged, has that ceiling. He's not just a space eater, he's a disruptor. He can collapse a pocket, blow up a run, or force a quarterback into a bad decision. Those kinds of plays change outcomes. They change narratives. And while it's too soon to anoint Kinlaw as Washington's next star, the foundation is being laid. His physical form has changed. His mental approach has matured. His opportunity is clear. Now it's about stacking days, avoiding setbacks, and translating all this momentum into meaningful production when the lights come on. And here's the twist: this wasn't supposed to be the big story of camp. The Commanders brought in several new faces. The spotlight was supposed to be on rookie development, the quarterback battle, or how the offense would adapt under new leadership. Yet it's Kinlaw, the controversial signing, who's dominating the early buzz. Every year, there's one player who turns heads and reshapes expectations. This year, that guy just might be Kinlaw. Reporters can't stop talking about him. Coaches keep highlighting him. And fans who were ready to write him off are now watching every rep with growing excitement. That's what happens when hard work meets opportunity, and it's a reminder that in the NFL, redemption stories are always just one training camp away. Kinlaw isn't just trying to make good on a contract, he's trying to make history, to prove he was never a mistake, just a delayed arrival. All of this raises one question: what happens next? Can Kinlaw sustain this level of performance once the pads come on? Will his body hold up through the grind of camp and the regular season? Will he finally deliver the breakout year so many expected when he entered the league? Only time will tell, but if the first week of camp is any indication, Javon Kinlaw is ready to answer all of those questions with authority, and if he does, the Commanders' gamble might turn into one of the best signings of the offseason. Not just in Washington, but across the entire NFL. That's the beauty of football. Every snap is a chance, every practice is a step, and for Kinlaw, every day is a statement. He's not just back, he's better, leaner, meaner, hungrier, and if he keeps this up, the rest of the league is going to find out just how dangerous that combination can be. So let the doubters talk. Let the critics second guess. In the end, the game is played on the field, and on that field, so far, Javon Kinlaw looks like a man possessed. His transformation is more than cosmetic, it's foundational. It's a player finally matching potential with purpose. It's a front office seeing beyond the obvious and making a bold bet. It's a team in transition, finding identity in unexpected places. And it's a fan base, weary of empty promises, starting to believe again. The road ahead is long. The tests will get tougher, but right now, in the heart of July, one thing is clear: Kinlaw has arrived in Washington not to fade into the background, but to take center stage, whether it ends in triumph or disappointment. One thing's for sure: this story is just getting started. And if the opening chapters are any indication, we're in for one hell of a ride. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The NFL world is buzzing with a fresh wave of speculation surrounding the Washington Commanders and their recent move to secure their secondary. Reports are swirling that the Commanders have officially signed safety Justin Simmons to a 2-year contract extension, a decision that could significantly bolster the team's defensive backfield. Simmons, known for his sharp instincts and reliable tackling, has been a key player in the league's elite safeties group, and this move might signal the Commanders' intent to build a fortress around their defensive backfield. Fans and analysts alike are already speculating on how this signing might impact the team's defensive schemes and overall competitiveness in the coming seasons. Given Simmons' track record, it's no surprise the Commanders moved quickly to lock him down. The rumors have been growing louder, and this official step adds a tangible layer to the potential for Washington's defense to become a powerhouse in the NFL landscape. Is this the start of a defensive renaissance for the Commanders? Adding Justin Simmons into the mix for Washington's defense could be a game changer, especially considering the depth issues the Commanders have faced in the secondary in recent years. Simmons' presence could serve as a mentor figure for younger defensive backs, fostering a culture of discipline and precision in coverage that the team has been chasing. The whispers in the NFL community suggest that this move was more than just about talent acquisition. It's about building a sustainable, winning defense that can consistently shut down opposing offenses. This 2-year deal, while not an extremely long-term commitment, might be a strategic decision to evaluate Simmons' impact while maintaining salary cap flexibility. Many insiders are pondering how this deal fits into Washington's larger blueprint, especially with other pending roster moves. The excitement is palpable as fans debate whether Simmons' signing can be the foundation for a revamped and dominant defense. Moreover, the buzz surrounding Justin Simmons and the Commanders raises questions about the team's defensive strategy going forward. Some NFL analysts are speculating that the coaching staff might be planning to implement more complex zone coverages and blitz packages, utilizing Simmons' ability to read the quarterback and anticipate plays. This signing could mean a shift from reactive defense to a more proactive approach, aiming to force turnovers and create game-changing moments. The 2-year deal might also suggest the Commanders are looking to build around Simmons, while scouting for complementary talents to fill other holes in the secondary. Fans are imagining what a backfield led by Simmons might look like on the field: dynamic, aggressive, and difficult to penetrate. The chatter around this move reflects a broader hope that Washington's defense can elevate itself into a top-tier unit in the fiercely competitive NFC East. From a financial perspective, this signing has also stirred some conversations about the Commanders' salary cap management. The 2-year deal reportedly offers some cap relief compared to longer contracts, leading many insiders to theorize that the front office is trying to balance immediate defensive upgrades with future flexibility. This approach might open doors for further key acquisitions in the secondary or even in other critical positions on the team. Observers are keenly watching how the Commanders will allocate resources this offseason, and whether Simmons' contract is a precursor to more aggressive spending or a cautious step in a long-term rebuilding process. The rumor mill is working overtime, with fans eager to see if this signing is just the tip of the iceberg or the culmination of a carefully orchestrated defensive makeover. Furthermore, the locker room impact of bringing Justin Simmons to Washington is a hot topic among insiders. Simmons is often praised not only for his skills, but also for his leadership and professionalism, qualities that are rumored to be exactly what the Commanders' defense needs right now. The team's culture, especially in the secondary, has been under scrutiny for inconsistency and lack of cohesion. This signing could be a deliberate attempt to instill a new standard of accountability and work ethic. Speculation suggests that Simmons' presence might inspire younger players to elevate their game and embrace a more disciplined defensive mindset. As the buzz grows, many wonder how this new dynamic could translate into better performances on Sundays and perhaps a more confident team overall. On the tactical side, there is growing anticipation about how Justin Simmons will mesh with the current defensive coordinator's vision. Some insiders speculate that his versatility as a safety allows for a more flexible defensive scheme, giving the Commanders the ability to disguise coverages and confuse opposing quarterbacks. This potential upgrade in scheme complexity could elevate the entire defense's effectiveness, making it harder for offenses to predict or exploit weaknesses. The rumor mill is alive with talk of Simmons being a chess piece in a broader strategy to transform Washington's defense into a more opportunistic and resilient unit. Fans are excited by the prospect of seeing more interceptions, forced fumbles, and impactful plays that Simmons is known for delivering consistently at his previous team. Another angle that has been making waves is the potential influence this signing could have on free agency and the draft strategy. The Commanders locking down Simmons might indicate a focus on defensive continuity, possibly leading to a draft strategy that prioritizes complementary defensive backs and pass rushers. There is also speculation that this move signals a less aggressive approach in the free agency market for secondary players, as the team appears confident in the core group now being assembled. Pundits are debating how this 2-year contract reflects Washington's confidence in Simmons' ability to lead the defense, and whether it will change the way the team approaches its defensive roster building in the coming months. The rumor mill suggests a coordinated plan is underway. Looking at the fan reaction, The buzz on social media and forums is intense, with many praising the Commanders for locking down a proven talent like Justin Simmons. Yet, there's also cautious optimism, as fans recall previous signings that didn't quite pan out as expected. The 2-year term raises questions about long-term commitment and whether Simmons will be part of the team's core in the future. Some fans speculate about the possibility of Simmons becoming the face of Washington's defense, a cornerstone player who can help attract other free agents and elevate the team's profile. This signing has definitely injected a new dose of hope into the fan base, fueling discussions about potential playoff runs and defensive dominance in the near future. In terms of team identity, insiders are buzzing about how Simmons' signing might influence the Commanders' brand and reputation. Defensive players with Simmons' caliber often become symbols of toughness and resilience, qualities that resonate deeply with fans and the media alike. The whispers around town suggest the Commanders are trying to rebuild not only their defense, but also their identity as a hard-nosed, competitive team that opponents fear to face. This could mark the beginning of a cultural shift within the franchise, driven by the leadership and high standards that Simmons brings. The rumor mill speculates that this move might be a stepping stone toward reshaping Washington's image into one that commands respect across the league. Finally, the 2-year deal with Justin Simmons has sparked endless rumors about what the future holds for the Commanders' defense. Is this signing a sign of bigger moves to come? Will Simmons emerge as a defensive leader who propels the team to playoff contention? The buzz suggests that the Commanders' front office is quietly assembling a defensive core that could challenge for division titles and beyond. As this story develops, fans and analysts will be watching closely, eager to see if this bold move pays off on the field. The excitement and speculation surrounding Simmons' arrival in Washington make it clear that something intriguing is unfolding, and the Commanders might just be on the verge of a defensive transformation that could reshape their fortunes for years to come. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.